Alright, welcome back. We are again in the Morrowind. Still trying to fight off a sickness of a blight disease of my own in real life, so pardon my voice. But we are endeavoring to continue curing our corpus disease in the game. We also took a little detour off camera to go get some spells that I really should have picked up earlier. We traveled back to Sadrith Mora to engage the services of a private wizard, to teach us the handy dandy spell called telekinesis. And telekinesis is going to allow us to unlock chests that are trapped without taking any of the trap damage. So it costs 20 for 100, telekinesis for 20 feet for 5 seconds. We have 5 seconds to get about 20 feet away and then try to unlock that chest. So just to remind ourselves, this is Vista Kai, a Argonian warrior. You've been warned to not harm the inmates of the Corprusarium. As you plan to plunder the dungeon, you must endure their attacks and mine. Do not harm the inmates. I will not tolerate you adding to their suffering. Indeed, they are brutal and ferocious, and they will kill you if they can. But you are their guest, and you may not harm them, or you will answer to me. We're going after Yagrum Bargan, and we're going to get some boots. Yagrum Bagran is in the bowels of the Corpusarium. Pass through the gate and go straight across to the next door. He rides in a 4-legged cart. He's not as dangerous as other corpus victims. I doubt he'll give you any trouble. Plunder the dungeon. For his own amusement, David Fear permits thieves to test their skills by attempting to steal the treasures he keeps below in the Corpusarium. The dangers are fearful, the inmates are savage, and they carry the most terrible disease on Tamriel. The treasures themselves are guarded by traps and terrors, and the guards, myself chief among them, will take great delight in trying to kill you. Those are the rules. Abide by them, or leave. Okay. And, of course, the Argonian thing, we are the people of the root called Argonians by the warm bloods. We go where we will, wet or dry, and the currents of blood and magic run swift in our veins. In our native land we hunt to live, masters of the marshes. Hunted and enslaved by soft-skinned enemies, we snare and slay them by stealth, spell, and steel. Warden, I am the guardian and peacekeeper of the Corpusarium. I've spent long years in service to Lord Fear, first as a slave, then as a free hireling, and now as a friend and partner. He has been kind and generous to me, and I take his interests and the interests of those he shelters to heart. The treasures of his dungeon are open to sport, according to Lord Fear's whim, and you're welcome to try to steal them, but I too find great sport in hunting thieves. Yeah. The friendly slave and generous slave master narrative is pretty strained in American literature and our past. I think the thing at heart here is the coping mechanism of not quite Stockholm Syndrome, but, you know, if he was really that great, he wouldn't really have slaves. You know what I mean? Like, he would be morally upright enough to question whether it was a good idea to have slaves in the first place. Of course, he freed them, which is, you know, at the bare minimum of what you can do to return to normal, at normal morality of not owning other humans. And then, you know, I'm sure that he is a great friend and partner when he has all of the power in the situation and views you as a useful thing for him to do. Granted, he is a Telvanni dark elf mage lord, so he's, they're not the greatest people on the whole, for dark elf Telvanni mage lords. They are known to be extremely selfish and powerful, or selfish, which is how they got so powerful in the first place, and have lived for thousands of years. So it's an interesting character, but one that is worth examining, especially for the American scholar and the American reader, about really taking into question how well we choose to believe the kind of Southern Lost Cause narrative pillars, one of which is the willing and friendly slave, or the good slave master who is benevolent and kind to their slaves, even though they're still slaves. An iron wakizashi, not that valuable. I'll take the bone meal and the gold, though. I'm sure this is randomly generated. You might as well take it until we need to drop it for weight. So I'm tempted to use this opportunity to either get up our alteration skill, which will lead us to the willpower level up that we're seeking. Let's see, personality is also kind of begging for a level up here on this round, but you know, we'll see how useful the personality is to us. All right, so it looks like it goes to the left and the right. Oh, there's something over here. Is that a person? Oh my gosh. Hello? Hi. Oopsie fear, really? Well, this is all trapped.
I could just figure a scheme of classifying manifolds for tri-ply connected surfaces, or even more complex surfaces.
Okay. Wow. Corpus meat hunk, dwimmer, spoiled dwimmer oil.
Now, if I could just figure a scheme of classifying manifolds for tri-ply connected surfaces, or even more complex surfaces.
You're new here, aren't you? My name is Oopsie. Oopsie fear. Oops fear. I take care of the corpus victims in the Corprusarium. Corpus victims, be careful if you're going to prowl around down here. We will be very angry if you hurt any of our patients, and our patients can be quite a handful, I'll tell you. Strong as Orgrim and twice as mean, but they seem to like it when I play the drum. Quiets them down. There's a drum around here someplace. They wander off with it sometimes, but find that drum and bring it to me, and I think I can calm them down for a while. Okay. They wander off with it. Interesting. We got another journal update. The disease takes many forms. For some, the progress is rapid and terrible. For others, the effects of the mind and body are very slow. It's a remarkable affliction, in that once having contracted corpus, one is completely unaffected by any other diseases. See, I still got diseases when I had corpus. You've always hoped that our research would permit us to isolate the beneficial aspects of corpus, but alas, we have not been successful. Calm down the corpus victims with soothing drum rhythms if you bring me their gar-skin drum. It must be somewhere here in the Corprusarium. Yes, look around. There's a gar-skin drum somewhere. Corprusarium is just one of Devasphere's many projects. Our mission here is partly humanitarian, partly research. He has been searching for a cure to corpus disease for a long time, a very long time. But in the meantime, we care for the corpus victims as best we can. The world outside is very cruel to corpus sufferers. They are much better off here with us. David Fear, as you know, is probably the oldest and most powerful wizard alive, not counting liches or divine sorcerers like Vivek, of course. And there may be some older in the west, on Somerset Isle perhaps, and I don't think there's a kinder, more generous wizard alive. Not that there's much competition in the kind and generous wizard department, I'll grant you. Okay. The enchanted ring called Moon and Star, or One Clan Under Moon and Star, as the Ashlanders call it, was forged for the hero Naravar by one of the Dwemer, sorcerer priest Kagranak Smiths, and blessed by the Deja Lord Azura. the ring gave Nerevar supernatural powers of persuasion and indisputable proof of identity, since any other who tried to wear the ring would be killed instantly. Well, here he is. You're here for the Dwemer boots. Tell my gracious keeper that I have done what I could. Only a Dwemer mage crafter could have done so much. But only idiots could have created these boots. It shames my race that we must be judged by the works of such lackwit blunders. Interesting. I owe my life to David Fear, or to Lord Fear. He took me in when I was a mad monster, out of my mind. In time, I emerged from my dementia, and now am quite lucid most of the time, though my body is still a grotesque and useless prison, and I still have some feeble hope of a cure. Lord Fear has tried many spells and potions. None have helped me, but neither have they harmed me. If anyone can cure this disease, Lord Fear can. Okay. My race. Once I was a master crafter in the service of Lord Kagernak, chief architect of the Great Second Empire's freeholds. Wow. Chief architect of the Great Second Empire freeholds, and the greatest enchanter of his time. I could not match the genius of Lord Kagernak, but what he could envision, I and my colleagues could build. All of that is gone forever. I still retain my cunning, but my hands and eyes fail me, and my memories have long faded. My only consolation is each day to mock the gods who destroyed my race and condemned me to this bleak existence. Since the disappearance of the dwarves, I have been alone in this world, trapped in this grim prison. I can scarcely move, and my fellow inmates are scarcely good company. The risk of corpus disease deters most visitors, but if you meet with cultivated minds undaunted by the terrors of the Corprusarium, you might mention your recent interview with the last living dwarf. Okay. Disappearance of the dwarves. I cannot say what happened. I was not there to observe. I was in an outer realm at the time, and when I came back, my people were gone. I left Red Mountain, wandering Tamriel for years, searching our destroyed colonies, looking for a survivor or an explanation. Then, a long, long time ago, I returned to Red Mountain, still looking for answers. Instead, I found corpus disease, and I have been here ever since. I have theories, if you are interested. This is how I style myself. Last living dwarf. I do not know for a fact that I am the last, but in my travels thousands of years ago, I never encountered another. And since I have been here, I often ask Lord Fear, but he says he has never heard a credible rumor of another Dwemer on Tamriel or in any other realm. Theories. Lord Kagernak, the foremost arcane philosopher and magecrafter of my era, devised tools to shape mythiopic forces. Mythopoetic. Mythiopic? I think mythiopic. Mythopic forces, intending to transcend the limits of Dwemer mortality. However, in reviewing his formulae, some logisticians argued that side effects were unpredictable and errors might be catastrophic. I think Kagernak might have succeeded in granting our race eternal life, with unforeseen consequences, such as wholesale displacement to an outer realm. Or he may have erred and utterly destroyed our race. Okay. Wow. Arcane philosopher and mage crafter of my era. Tools to shape mythopic forces, intending to transcend the limits of Dwemer mortality. However, in reviewing his formula, some logisticians argued that side effects were unpredictable and errors might be catastrophic. I think Kagernak might have succeeded in granting our race eternal life with unforeseen consequences, such as wholesale displacement to an outer realm. So he was in an outer realm also. I cannot say what happened. I was not there to observe. I was in an outer realm at the time, and when I came back, my people were gone. The outer realms are clearly things that the Dwemer can go back and forth between. Okay, so theories, life-floating dwarf, disappearance of the dwarves, bleak existence, race. Alright, Dwemer boots is the only one left. Lord Fear obtained these enchanted Dwemer boots from an unfortunate thief, and given the quality of their craftsmanship, little wonder the fellow came to a bad end. But I can do nothing for them. The fundamental enchantment is flawed. Might as well start over again. If such a pair of boots could still be fashioned in these benighted latter days. But I have done my best. Take them to Lord Fear, with my sincere apologies. Dwemer Boots of Flying has been added to your inventory. Okay. What a cool character.
Now, if I could just figure a scheme
Ah, Tamrielic lore.
for tri-ply connected surfaces, or even more complex surfaces.
Where are the boots? There they are. Levitate 1 to 100 points for 30 seconds on self. Heavy boots. Interesting. 1 to 100, so they could be very, very slow or very good. That's kind of interesting that you can like flub the game so hard. I mean, they're very heavy also. They're 20 weight. And we are not in the business of heavy armor. Okay, well, that certainly is a fascinating thing. Let's see if we can read this book. Tamrielic artifacts. The following are notes I have gathered over the past centuries of items unimaginable significance. All have been seen, owned, and lost again and again throughout Tamriel. Some may be myth, others may be a hoax. But regardless, many have lost their lives attempting to find or protect these very coveted items. Lord's Mail, sometimes called the armor of Morhouse or the gift of Kinnereth. This is... So Kinnereth, I believe, is the goddess of the wild. Not Hircine, the goddess of the hunt. But Kinnereth is like friendly nature, I think, or like wind. Granted, a lot of my knowledge about this comes from Skyrim. This is an ancient cuirass of unsurpassable quality. It grants the wearer power to absorb health, resist the effects of spells, and cure oneself of poison when used. It is said that whenever Kinnereth disdains the wearer unworthy, the Lord's Mail will be taken away and hidden for the next chosen one. Ebony Mail. The Ebony Mail is a breastplate created before recorded history by the dark elven goddess Boethia. It is she who determines who should possess the Ebony Mail, and for how long a time. If judged worthy, its power grants the wearer added resistance of fire, magicka, and grants a magical shield. It is Boethia alone who determines when a person is ineligible to bear the Ebony Mail any longer, and the goddess can be very capricious. Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker, superficially a Dwemer tower shield, is one of the most ancient relics of Tamriel. Aside from its historical importance in the Battle of Ro'ukan Shalador, the Spellbreaker protects its wielder almost completely from any spellcaster, either by reflecting magics or silencing any mage about to cast a spell. It is said that Spellbreaker still searches for its original owner and will not remain the property of anyone else for long. For most, possessing Spellbreaker for any length of time is power enough. Chrysamere, the Paladin's Blade, is an ancient claymore with offensive capabilities surpassed only by its own defenses. It lends the wielder health, protects him or her from fire, and reflects any spells cast against the wielder back to the caster. Seldom has Chrysamere been wielded by any bladesman for any length of time, for it chooses not to favor one champion. Staff of Magnus. One of the elder artifacts of Tamriel was a metaphysical battery of sorts for its creator, Magnus. When used, it absorbs the enemy's health and mystical energy. In time, the staff will abandon the mage who wields it before he becomes too powerful and upsets the mystical balance it is sworn to protect. Warlock's Ring. The Warlock's Ring of the Archmage Ciribane is one of the most popular relics of myth and fable. In Tamriel's ancient history, Zirbane saved all of the continent by judicious use of his ring, and ever since, it has helped adventurers with less lofty goals. It is best known for its ability to reflect spells cast at its wearer and to improve his or her speed and to restore health. No adventurer can wear the Warlock's ring for long, for it is said that the ring is Zirbane's alone to command. Ring of Finaster. The Ring of Finaster was made hundreds of years ago by a man who needed good defenses to survive his adventurous life. Thanks to the ring, Finaster lived for hundreds of years, and since then, it was passed from person to person. The ring improves its wearer's overall resistance to poison, magicka, and shock. Still, Finaster was cunning and cursed the ring so that it eventually disappears from its holder's possession and returns to another resting place, discontent to stay anywhere but with Finaster himself. Ring of Khajiit. The Ring of the Khajiit is an ancient relic hundreds of years older than Rajan, the thief that made the ring famous. It was Rajan who used the ring's power to make himself invisible and as quick as the breath of wind. Using the ring, he became the most successful burglar in Elswere's history. Rajan's eventual fate is a mystery, but according to legend, the ring rebelled against such constant use and disappeared, leaving Rajan helpless before his enemies. Wow. Mace of Molag Bal, also known as the Vampire's Mace. The Mace of Molag Bal drains its victims of magicka and gives it to the bearer. It also has the ability to transfer an enemy's strength to its wielder. Molag Bal has been quite free with his artifact. There are many legends about the mace. It seems to be a favorite for vanquishing wizards. Mask of Clavicus Vile. Ever the vain one, Clavicus Vile made a mask suited to his own personality. The bearer of the mask is more likely to get a positive response from the people of Tamriel. The higher his personality, the larger the bonus. The best known story of the mask tells a tale of Avela, a noblewoman of some renown. As a young girl, she was grossly disfigured by a spiteful servant. Avela made a dark deal with Clavicus Vile and received the mask in return. Though the mask did not change her looks, suddenly she had the respect and admiration of everyone. A year and a day after her marriage to a well-connected baron, Clavicus Vile reclaimed the mask. Although pregnant with his child, Avela was banished from the baron's household. 21 years and 1 day later, Avelia's daughter claimed her vengeance by slaying the baron. Wow, nice. Mehrunes Razor. The Dark Brotherhood has coveted this ebony dagger for generations. This mythical artifact is capable of slaying any creature instantly. History does not record any bearers of Mehrunes Razor. However, the Dark Brotherhood was once decimated by a vicious internal power struggle. It is suspected that the Razor was involved. Interesting. Yeah, so you'll see that in Oblivion. And I think we do see Mehrunes Razor in Skyrim. The Dark Brotherhood quests are always some of the best. Cuirass of the Savior's Hide. Another of Hircine's artifacts with the Cuirass of the Savior's Hide. Cuirass has the special ability to resist magicka. Legend has it that Hircine rewarded his peeled hide to the first and only mortal to have ever escaped his hunting grounds. This unknown mortal had the hide tailored into this magical cuirass for his future adventures. The Savior's Hide has a tendency to travel from hero to hero, as though it has a mind of its own. Oh. Spear of Bitter Mercy. One of the more mysterious artifacts is the Spear of Bitter Mercy. Little to nothing is known about the spear. There are no recorded histories, but many believe it to be of Daedric origin. The only known legend about it is its use by a mighty hero during the fall of the Battlespire. The hero was aided by the spear in the defeat of Mehrunes Dagon and the recapturing of the Battlespire. Since that time, the Spear of Bitter Mercy has made few appearances within Tamriel. Daedric Scourge. The Daedric Scourge is a mighty mace forged from sacred ebony in the fires of Fickledire. Legendary weapon of Makan. It was once a fierce weapon used to send spirits of black back into oblivion. The weapon has, I guess a typo here, has the ability to summon creatures from oblivion. Once a tool used against the Daedric lords in the Battlespire, it now roams the land with adventurers. I wonder if the Battlespire is a reference to previous games. Bow of Shadows. Legend has it that the Bow of Shadows was forged by the Daedra Nocturnal. The legendary ranger, Raelius Gale, was granted the bow for a secret mission that failed, and the bow was lost. Raelius did not go down without a hearty fight, and is said to have, with the aid of the bow, taken scores of his foes with him. I was wondering, do we get this in Skyrim, or maybe Oblivion? I feel like there was a special bow of shadows. That's cool. I guess we'll have to play the other games again. Bow grants the user the ability of invisibility and increased speed. Many sightings of the Bow of Shadows have been reported, and it is even said that the sinister dark elf assassin of the Second Era, Dram, once wielded this bow. This of Randagulf. Oh, we have those. Randagulf of Clan Beglain goes down in Tamrielic history as one of the mightiest warriors from Skyrim. He was known for his courage and ferocity in battle, and was a factor in many battles. He finally met his fate when King Harald conquered Skyrim. King Harald respected this great hero and took Randagulf's gauntlets for his own. After King Harald died, the gauntlets disappeared. The king claimed that the fist granted the bearer added strength. It certainly does. 25 points of strength, I think. Ice Blade of the Monarch. The Ice Blade of the Monarch is truly one of Tamriel's most prized artifacts. Legend has it that the evil archmage Almion Clemo enchanted the claymore of a great warrior with the soul of a frost monarch, a stronger form of the more common frost Atronox. The warrior Thurgnar Asi was to play a part in the assassination of a great king in a far-off land and become the new leader. The assassination failed and the archmage was imprisoned. The ice blade freezes all who feel its blade. The blade circulates from owner to owner, never settling in one place for long. Ring of Surroundings. Little is known of this prize, but it is said that it lends the wearer the ability to blend in with their surroundings. Okay. Boots of the Apostle. The boots of the Apostle are a true mystery. The wearer of the boots is rumored to be able to levitate, though no one has ever seen them used. Huh. I wonder if we've ever seen those. Do we have that? Mentor's Ring. This ring is a prized possession for any apprentice to magic. It lends the wearer the ability to increase their intelligence and wisdom, thus making their use of magic more efficient. The High Wizard Karni Asran is said to be the creator of the ring. It was a construct for his young apprentices while studying under his guidance. After Asran's death, the ring and several other possessions vanished and have been circulated throughout Tamriel. Ring of the Wind. No facts are known about this ring, but the title and the few rumors lend one to think it grants the wearer added speed. Vampiric Ring. One of the more deadly and rare artifacts in Tamriel is the Vampiric Ring. It is said that the ring has the power to steal the victim's health and grant it to the wearer. The exact nature and origin of the ring is wholly unknown, but many elders speak of its evil creation in Morrowind long, long ago by a cult of vampire followers. The vampiric ring is an extremely rare artifact that is only seen every few hundred cycles of the moons. Eledian's Ward. Eledian was a holy knight of legend in Breton history. He was a sought-after man for his courage and determination to set all wrongs right. In one story, it is said that he rescued a baron's daughter from sure death at the hands of an evil warlord. For his reward, the baron spent all of his riches to have an enchanted shield built for Aedelion. The shield granted Aedelion the opportunity to heal his wounds. Nice. Staff of Hasidoki. Hasidoki was said to have been a very competitive wizard. He wandered the land in search for a wizard who was greater than he. To the best of all knowledge, he never found a wizard who could meet up to his challenge. It is said that he felt so lonely and isolated because so many feared his power that he bonded his life force into his very own staff, where his soul remains to this very day. Magic users all over Tamriel have been searching for his magical staff, granting its wielder a protection of magicka. It is a sure prize for any magic user. A lot of these are protections from magicka, but a lot of the magic that's cast at you in Morrowind is like fire, frost, or lightning spells. And there's very, the pure magicka attacks are usually more expensive than the elemental attacks. Bloodworm Helm. The King of Worms was said to have left behind one of his prized possessions, the Bloodworm Helm. The helm is a construct of magically formed bone. The helm allows the user to summon skeletons and control the undead. It would be a prized artifact to a necromancer. Dragonbone Mail. This cuirass is one of the greatest artifacts any collector or hero could own. It is constructed of real dragon bone and was enchanted by the first Imperial battle mage, Zurin Arctis, in the early years of the Third Era. It is a truly exquisite piece of work, and many have sought to possess it. The properties of the cuirass allowed the wearer to be almost resistant to fire. Little is known about the involvement of Zurin Arctis with the enchantment of the cuirass, but an old tale speaks of a debt that he owed to a traveling warrior. Like the warrior, the Dragonbone Mail never stays put for long. Skull Crusher. The Skull Crusher is an amazingly large and powerful weapon. The warhammer was created in a fire magically fueled by the wizard Dorak Gusal, and was forged by the great weaponsmith Hilbongard Rolimus. The steel is magically hardened, and the weight of the weapon is amazingly light, which makes for more powerful swings and deadly blows. The warhammer was to be put on display for a festival, but thieves got it first. The Skull Crusher still travels Tamriel in search of its creators. Goldbrand. This magical sword is almost a commonplace complete mystery. Thieves tell tales about its golden make and how it was actually forged by ancient dragons of the north. Their tales claim that it was given to a great knight who was sworn to protect the dragons. The sword a great knight who was sworn to protect the dragons. Kind of Skyrim-esque. The sword lends... we're not protecting dragons, we're killing them en masse, like dozens and dozens at a time. The sword lends its wielder the ability to do fire damage to an enemy, or on an enemy. Goldbrand has not been cited in recent history, and is said to be awaiting a worthy hero. Fang of Haiknamet. Black Marsh was once known to be inhabited with what the Argonians call the Wamasus. Northern men considered them to be intelligent dragons with lightning for blood. One such mighty beast, Hynectamnamet, Hynectamnamet, was slain by the northern men, though it took 7 days and nights and a score of men. One of the surviving men took a fang home as a trophy. The fang was carved down into a blade and fashioned into a small dagger. The dagger mysteriously houses some of the beast's magical properties and grants the user the ability to do shock damage on an opponent. This unique dagger is seen occasionally by traveling heroes. Wow. Wamasus. Okay. Oh. Umber Sword. The Umber Sword was enchanted by the ancient witch Nainra Ware, and its sole purpose was the entrapment of souls. Used in conjunction with a soul gem, the sword allows the wielder the opportunity to imprison an enemy's soul in the gem. Naina was executed for her evil creation, but not before she was able to hide the sword. The Umber Sword is very choosy when it comes to owners and therefore remains hidden until a worthy one is found. Denstagmir's Ring. All that is known of this ring is that it may grant the user protection from certain elements. Even the name Dengstamir is a mystery. Helm of Orion Bearclaw. One of Valenwood's legendary heroes is Orion Bearclaw, son of King Fame Todai. He was a respected clan hunter and a future leader. Wood Elven Legends claims Orion's single-handedly defeated Glenwyfaunva, the witch serpent of the Elven Wood, forever bringing peace to his clan. Orion would go on to accomplish numerous other deeds, eventually losing his life to the Knatten flu. He got taken down by a sickness. His helm stood as a monument of his stature for future generations to remember. The helm was lost eventually as the clan split and is now a treasured artifact for adventurers. The helm of Orion Bearclaw is rumored to improve the wearer's agility and endurance. Daedric Crescent Blade. Probably the most rare and even outlawed item of all the great prizes is the Daedric Crescent Blade. The blade was used by Mehrunes Dagon's Daedric forces in the capture of the Imperial Battle Spire. These extremely unique blades were gathered up and destroyed after the Battle Spire was recaptured by the Empire. All but one, it seems. Oh, destroyed after the Battle Spire. Interesting. So they didn't even want the power to be out there. Not to use it for themselves, but to destroy it. Though the Empire believes them all to be destroyed, it is rumored that one still remains in existence somewhere in Tamriel. Though none have ever seen it, the blade lends its wielder the ability to do great damage on an enemy and allows him to paralyze and put heavy wear on his enemy's armor. Quite the prize for any mighty warrior, if it does indeed exist. Okay, damage, paralyze, and armor disintegration. Okay. Well, that's kind of fun. Alright. So, that's close to 40 minutes. We're looking for a drum. Garskin drum somewhere. Well, we are technically done with this thing. We have the boots that David Fear needed. It is interesting that we just rub elbows with these very important, significant people. Probably cast Levitate and get over here. Alteration is a willpower skill that we're trying to level up after all. Oh, this is another door to the Corprusarium. Interesting that the Corpus beasts just kind of wander off with the drum. But this all seems to be one area. Yep.
If I could just figure a scheme of classifying manifolds.
Well, the battle music is certainly playing. This is all brand new. Oh, and there's the entrance. Still looking for a Gwarskin drum, huh? Oh, maybe that's it. Skeletal corpse with steel war hammer. And only 6 gold. Is the war hammer really worth picking up? I suppose it is. Well, here is the drum. This seems kind of gross. Got some Mountain Dew over here. Okay, well, let's take it back to Oopsie Fear and have her calm down some of the Corpus victims. At least that'll make it safe for us. Looks like they won't go into the water. Over here, guys. Oh. Okay, maybe we'll just have to skirt past him. Okay, something to steal over here. Finally be able to rest. It's really interesting to have a dungeon where you can't attack any of the monsters. Okay. Well, here I see you found a Garskin drum. Yes, that Garskin drum will do perfectly. I'll take it and play a little soothing rhythm, and I think that will pacify the poor Corpus victims so they won't be so savage and aggressive. Excellent. Ergenbraun gave me the Dwemer boots David Fear asked for. Now, when I deliver these boots to David Fear, he will give me the potion that I hope will cure my Corpus disease. Brought Upse Fear a Garskin drum so she could play some rhythms to soothe the Corpus victims. Okay. So I guess we can try to get all of the chests open. Ithvia says that corpus disease makes you immune to other diseases, and that the Neverine prophecies say the Neverine will be immune to disease. Can it just be a coincidence? Gave to Ithvia the Dwemer artifact the spy master gave me. Seems to have made a good impression on him. Okay. Well, I know about one treasure chest. I don't know if the person will attack me if I get the treasure chest. So I'm going to save, you know, just before we cast the spell. Have Akash's Log Splitter. Alright, and Telekinesis. So that was very lucky that we were able to cast that. We have a 58% chance to cast that, and it costs us 50 magicka. So another reason to get our alteration skill up. Which, you know, it is going up. Key to Tell Fear 1092. Okay. Ornate Dwemer goblets. Interesting. We got some goblets. That's the highest level chest that you could possibly unlock. And my back has been really hurting since work. And I've been trying. Okay, so this is a chest. This is a closet. How you doing there, buddy? I've been trying to do back strengthening exercises so that my back doesn't hurt as much. I give my spine some stability by boosting up the muscles in the region. Alright, well here's another chest. Wrapped, lock level 100. Give it another of that Akasha's lock splitter that we got. So I named this spell myself after the scroll that is Akasha's lock splitter. It's 100 points on target. Very nice to have in a pinch, but I'm trying to level up my alteration right now, so I'm trying to do it myself. Oh, and I failed to cast it. Alright, let's try it again. Oof. Still failed. Your case of corpus is worsened. Oh no! Wow. If we wait long enough, corpus case worsens. Try a mage ring first, and then... Do we have any other buffing things? No, I don't think we do. I guess Thief Ring, but not really. We have buffing spells, of course, but... Yes, we did it. Okay, now we're going to back off. Engage in telekinesis. Oh, key to Telfear. 6, 7, 9, 8. 6, 7, 8. And some goblets again. Very interesting. They keep on giving us keys to places. Not really sure what those keys are for. I wonder if that's like a joke that this person has. Alright, another. See, these are all Dwemer chests as well. Very interesting. I mean, I guess he is one of the oldest mage lords. It's always shock damage. Key to Telfear, 8, 9, 7. Okay. Are you gonna attack me? Does not look like it. Okay, excellent. This is the Corprusarium. And they are no longer attacking us. They're no longer aggroing onto us. Which is very, very good. Alright. So another block splitter here. Nice. Very, very trapped. Nothing a little telekinesis can't solve. Yeah, telekinesis is a very essential tool for mages. Telfear 802. And more of the innate Dwimmer goblets. Hey guys, what's going on? Well, that's certainly one way that disease can affect you. Oh wow, look at this. That's cool. And because they're peaceful to me, I can heal. Underwater chest. It always pays to look in Morrowind for the underwater chest. Wow. I wonder if telekinesis will work underwater. I'm sure it will. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. Some Dwimmer coins. 7/38. Interesting that this has the TH of 7/38 behind it. And what was it? Silver coins? Dwimmer coins, yeah. The keys seem to be, you know, the truly valuable thing. Oh, my case of corpus is worsened. No. I'm getting even more corpusy. Corpus, of course, I think it's the Latin root for body. The habeas corpus, of course. Produce the body. Which is an essential guarantee of the Western legal system. Is that you're not supposed to be convicted without evidence of something. If someone does accuse you of something, you have to provide evidence to substantiate their claim. Okay, well, I think we're just about done. Yep. Nothing else. Magic. Magic makes us a better thief than thieves. When you're good at magic, you can do anything. Of course, there's many different specialties within that magic system that you have to be each individually good at. But that's why we like playing mages. For the intellectual of classes, you see. Oh, this one is unlocked. Wow, okay, we already got this. Huh. I don't seem to recall getting it, but okay. Well, I think that wraps things up around here. Seems like I've gotten all the chests that I can see. And that just for being pretty good at magic. Of course, the tail of the tape will be if this person gets pissed off at us and starts attacking us.
Questions.
Oh my gosh. Very scared. You have been warned, do not harm the inmates of the Corprusarium. Yes. Yes, I did plunder the dungeon. I mean, I guess we could take the chests that are, you know, next to the dwarf and, you know, do it that way. Maybe that'll be a different save, just in case. Yeah, this place seems to be a Dwemer location also.
If I could just figure a scheme of classifying manifolds for tri-ply connected surfaces, or even more complex surfaces.
Volendrung. Blunt two-handed weapons. Drain health 10 points, paralyzed for 4 seconds. Cast when strikes. Okay, a blunt two-handed weapon. And lots of Dwemer coins, and I am overweight. Okay, you know, I'm gonna put a mark here. If I can afford it. They didn't seem to mind. A lock level of 80. Will still probably be a Clash's Lock Splitter here for me. There's a spell I think that I used to make this spell a Clash's Lock Splitter that's called Open. That is a much... Yeah, and Ducey's Open Door. Okay. The case of Corpus keeps worsening. Oh wow. Wonder what that was. Was it a teleport? Okay, a full set of Dwemer gear. Very heavy for us. Then Dwemer coins, the seed, the ransom of Zarek, the importance of wear, dowry, the song of the alchemist, Azure in the box. Let's see.
Help!
Oh. Okay. That one is not allowed to be taken. That's good to know, but this one is fine. All right. Well, that's good to know. I still want to read those books. Volendrung is very heavy. Could use the mark here still.
Figure a scheme of classifying manifolds for tri-ply connected surfaces, or even more complex surfaces.
So Corpus has worsened. Of course it has.
Now, if I could just figure a scheme of classifying
Okay, now we are finally ready to save.
Or even more.
All right. So I think we shall end the video here. And then we will read a bunch of books. And then we will be done. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. We're going to read all of the books that our good friend Yagram Bagran, the last living dwarf, has for us. And then we shall, yeah, keep going. Interesting that he caught Corpus from going back to Red Mountain. You know, where Digath Ur is. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later. Peace.